And don't ever let society tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, you're too old or you're too young. Everyone can learn. If my 8-year-old and my 14-year-old can learn, you can learn just as well. If you've ever blown up a trading account and had one of those weeks where nothing goes right, this one is for you. Losing streaks can create emotional chaos, panic, self-doubt, frustration, and for some, the urge to even quit. Many traders are spiraling out of control because they do not know how to emotionally reset and recover strategically after consecutive losses. This episode is going to be how to bounce back with clarity and confidence. All right, guys, come on, let's get started on this podcast. Welcome to another episode of Married to the Markets. My name is Chrissy.
And I'm George, of course.
Yes, so I want to just get right into it because this one is going to be a good one.
It should be a good one.
Right? We're going to talk about the fallouts of a losing week. Y'all ever had a losing week before?
I know I did.
We all have, okay? If you've been in trading long enough, you know what happens when you have a losing week. And we want to talk about it because for me, I would question myself. You would question, am I good enough? Is this for me? Should I continue? Should I go back to work a 9 to 5? You start questioning all types of stuff. If that's you, please raise your hand and let us know.
Yeah, you be going through it. I mean, for me, it's always the same thing. It's like, man, am I supposed to be doing this? I just got this loss. It's like every time this happens, like you start questioning yourself for real. So it's just taking back and be like, you know what, maybe I need to go back to a 9 to 5. Maybe I need to just be like, these people were right.
That's the emotions speaking.
But you have to decide whether you want to do it or not. Because a lot of times as a trader or even getting into trades, you're going to question yourself. But you have to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons as well.
Absolutely. Because if you don't, you're going to start doing stupidity. And I'm going to say stupidity, okay?
You're going to start
Because
doing foolishness.
You will. You're going to start revenge trading. It'll be that FOMO, like, oh my God, I got to get in. You're going to over leverage where you know you're not supposed to be putting that much in a trade, but you're going to do it because you're trying to get back that money. And I think we spoke about that on a previous episode about when you over leverage and you revenge trade, it could put you in a hole.
Yeah.
Even deeper.
Because the thing is, when you get emotional, you're questioning yourself, but also you'll go back in and you try to trade to make that money back.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to make that money back, you might use a certain amount to trade those trades that you lost on. But now to make that money back, of course, you have to go bigger in your trades to make that profit up.
And that's going against your rules sometimes.
And you're breaking all the rules. You're breaking everything else. So now you get into a point where you lose more. And then now you really start questioning yourself. The thing is, as a trader, you're going to go through the losses, but it's how you mitigate your losses. It's your risk. Yeah. Being so experienced, I know when I get into a trade where I'm getting out. So because I know where I'm getting out, if I lose on a trade, I lose on a trade because it didn't go my way. But then I have to look back and say, well, why the trade didn't work? Did I do everything possible to make sure that I did my part? And if I did my part, I feel good about the trade regardless or not. I took the trade based on my strategy and my plan.
Yeah. And a lot of people start stressing, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, I lost. They're having sleepless nights. They're obsessively looking at the charts on their phone. Like some people say, you know what? I'm only going to trade from a computer. I'm a computer girl. I like to trade from a computer. I can trade from my phone just as well, but I prefer having my MacBook with me.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was an addict. So when I first start out, and I mean, I do it still. I do it still sometimes.
He's a phone trader, okay? He loves doing it from his phone.
I'll check the markets. And checking the markets, I guess, is different from you trading and then every minute you're looking for a trade. I will say this. I no longer trade from my phone. If I trade from my phone, most of the times I'm going to mess up, if not all the times, because I'm not looking at the charts. And when you're not looking at the charts, you don't know if there's a EMA sitting right there where it's bouncing against a 200 for a resistance. You don't know if there's VWAP there. You don't know because you're just looking at price. And because price is a certain place, you'd be like, oh, it might go up more.
But there are people who do like to trade. I'm not going to take that away from everybody. Everybody's going to have their preference in trading. I know people who are very good traders, but they use their phone because you could still have the chart on your phone and you could still put it in. Take a little bit more work, but you can still do both. I'm just saying for us, We just prefer, over the years, we've just realized that we just do better from our computer versus being on a cell phone.
Now, when I say trade from your phone,
Yeah.
right? You still can look at I'm talking about there's people that just look at price action. So say for instance you go in Robinhood, and in Robinhood you're only seeing the price. You're not seeing any charts. And
Hmm.
because you've seen the price, you're taking a trade based on the price.
No,
You're
I'm
not
not
seeing
doing that.
nothing
I need
else,
to look
right?
at charts.
I'm talking about that. When you're
People
talking
do that?
about, yeah, people do that. I used to. That's why.
I didn't mean to call them out, y'all. I didn't mean to call
Right?
them
I
out.
used to, and it was the dumbest thing I've done. You start looking at why you're losing or why you make certain trades and why they didn't work because you wasn't looking at an actual chart. You wasn't looking at your setup. And then when you go back and you look at the chart, you'd be like, yo, what kind of stupidness did I do?
Hmm.
Right? If I had the chart in front of me, then I would have saw something. So it's like if you have your alerts, it's different. When you have your alerts and you're out, if your alerts go off on your phone, then you could take that trade. Absolutely. You don't have to look at a chart because you already have your alert set up.
Yeah.
You already did your trading plan. Everything is accordingly. Price break. All right, I'm taking it. I know what call I'm getting into. I know the price range. I know take profit, all those stuff. But when you just taking a trade just by looking at a phone, to be like, oh, the price is right here. Let me go
Yeah.
ahead and take it. Then you're just throwing money in somebody else's pocket.
Well, I know the people are already going to be asking, what trade? Like, can you share your loss? Like a loss that just, I mean, you're going to have multiple losses. So if you're getting into this thinking you're not going to have losses, listen, welcome to reality. You will have losses, right? It's just about mitigating those losses. But we've all had that one or two trades that just jack you up,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
What was yours?
Mine's? Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah, ladies first.
Okay. So I had two, but one in the beginning of my trading, because I used to play, this is back in the day, y'all, okay? I used to play Peloton all the time, in and out. Peloton was my ish. That was my girl, right? One day Peloton clapped me from the floor up. Let me tell y'all, that girl beat me. And you know what it was? For me personally, guys, the only reason Peloton got me that way is if I had the strategy that I have now, that would have never happened. We get in our emotions sometimes as traders and we believe what we believe. And it's not that I wasn't right, because I was right, but I didn't have enough time on my contract. Y'all understand that? Some of y'all know what I mean. I didn't have enough time on my contract. It did what it needed to do, but I just didn't have enough time. And so that messed me up. So yeah, Peloton, you beat me up. I ain't never touched you ever since. I was done with you. I took you off my watch list quick. I don't even know where Peloton is at no more. I don't even play that no more. Back then, Peloton was, something, but then it started going to hell and I ain't even play with that no more.
So Peloton, you said you mentioned two though. So what was the next one?
Beyond was the next one. That one hurt too. But it didn't hurt me like Peloton did. You know why? I think is because I didn't play Beyond often, whereas I was playing Peloton daily. In and out. He'd be like, yo,
Yeah.
I didn't even get in my, I was like, I'm done for today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peloton's my boo.
Yo,
We done.
Yo, she used to be like
In and out.
Like we both was trading,
yeah,
right?
together.
She used to be upstairs and I used to be downstairs, and we'd be like, all right, market open, what you looking at? All right, bomb. She'll like 10 minutes in, she'll walk downstairs. Be like, yo, what you doing now? Oh, I'm done for the day. I'm like, what?
Yep, I am done for the day. And that's just how I was, because like I said, we was locked in. We was BFFs. And then it did me wrong. You know how you have that best friend that do you wrong? That's what Peloton did to me. And I ain't never talked to her again. Don't laugh at me, y'all, okay? It's a true story. Y'all, listen, if you had some losses, share your loss. Share your biggest loss. Tell us your experience down below, because I know I'm not the only one that has felt that way. What about you?
For me, if we're talking about options, I think IBM was one of them. I had the time, and the crazy thing is I was in profit.
You were.
I was in profit, and because it didn't hit my target yet, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna hold on to it because I got time. I got time.
We always think we have a lot of time.
And then I think the news came in and that shit dropped. And I'm like, my God.
You ever seen those memes when the thing just falls out the sky and everybody's like, what happened?
And I'm like, my God. And I'm like, all right, it's gonna come back. I got time. I got time. The crazy thing is I put more in it because I'm like, all right, let me average in. But again, just like you said, if we was trading how we do now as far as the strategy that we have right now, I don't think we would have probably cut that a long time ago.
Oh, we would have by far taken those profits on IBM
Oh,
because I
absolutely.
remember that play.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So
remember that
that took
clear.
me for one. And to be honest, I don't believe I ever traded IBM since.
You too? You just took them off your watch list.
I don't think I mean, I don't think I have traded
I don't
IBM
remember
since.
you trading that since.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even have it on my list. So that's to tell you. Yeah. No. No, I don't like when certain things do me wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like. I'm not gonna say I hate, but I don't like trading SPX for the simple fact that them contracts is like you think it's moving. It's just I don't like it. Like SPX clapped me few times well when I'm first starting out. And those contracts, if you know, those contracts are heavy. So when you're playing same day, you lose pretty fast,
Yeah.
which comes down to a next point, which is this shit will mess with your relationship. Okay. It will cause stress on your relationship because
Yeah.
like when you go through a loss,
You don't want to be bothered.
you don't want to be bothered.
Like, don't talk to me.
Like, just come home from school and be like, yo, just not right now. Not daddy, not right now. I'm not playing. I'm not just give me a moment.
Yeah.
That will cause stress.
It would, but we had to learn, guys, how to change our mindset, how to pivot, how to handle these losses. This is why we come on, we do these podcasts, is because it's really our experiences. Everything that we have gone through, we're just sharing it, being authentic and real. And we had to learn, you can't take it out on other people. It's not their fault that you lost in that trade. That's your own fault. And so we had to learn to take breaks, step away, just clear your head, because it's not quitting. It's proper risk management. You're taking a break. It's just not, you're not quitting because you're taking a break. And everybody's break is going to look a little bit different.
Yeah. But I think by you taking that break, you're being a professional. You're being a professional risk management because what you're doing is you're walking away and giving yourself time. That time now you can reflect.
Yeah. Your time could be a couple hours. It could be a couple days. It could be a week. It could be a month. Everybody's going to be different.
Yeah.
So for you, what is something that you would say that you would do?
I have two things.
All right. What's those two things?
My two things is I immediately just close the computer and I go for a walk.
Yeah.
We
have many walk days.
Yeah, many.
We
walk
did,
days.
but it was
Many walk days.
therapeutic.
It is therapeutic, and I'm not talking like for me. I used to go for a walk, and we have the trails, so it's a lot nicer, and it's like, all right, it's a little bit peaceful, and then I can say, what did I do wrong? At first, in it, I used to beat myself up, but then it's like, course of time, being mature enough, then you start asking, all right, how could I have done better? What could I have done better? So you kind of de-stress when I go. The next thing is going to the gym.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll go to the gym, and that's just me working on myself or something.
Yeah. You have to do what you can control. You taught me that. So my husband taught me that. Do what you can control. If you lost that trade, there's nothing you can control about that. It's done. It's over. But what can you do now to take control? And so I do. That's why we go to the gym. The
gym and walking is therapeutic for me. So those are the two things that I do to deal with losses. What about you?
So for me, I'm closing the computer. I don't want to look at no more charts for the day. Just being honest, being real. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. So as soon as I'm done, I'm closing it. Back in the day, I'm going to give y'all something. Back in the day, my behind would go to sleep. I don't want to hear nobody. I don't want to see nobody. I'm going to bed. So when my husband or my kids came home and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm sleeping, they said, oh she done lost the trade today.
Yeah. Our son will be like, he'll come home from school.
Close that door quietly.
And he'll once he come home from school and he see her in the bed, he automatically knows.
He's
Like
like,
today
yeah,
wasn't a good day.
it
It's
wasn't a
like
good
today wasn't
day.
a good day. So he's not even gonna mess with her. He's not gonna do nothing.
Now our thing is walks. So we do walks and we go to the gym. He's my husband. So as a married couple, because we talk about married to the markets, we support each other through these losses. We don't take on losses by ourselves anymore. You don't have to hide. You don't have to do anything. And that's why I said it's so important to include your spouse with trading, because now you have someone that you can talk. He's my accountability partner. He doesn't beat me up for things. We kind of just go over stuff. We review our trades. So we no longer beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
We review our trades. And sometimes that's walking and talking about it. Like, okay, what did you learn from this? It's not what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? It's what did I learn? And so we always talk it out like, okay, this is what I saw. This is how I felt. It's kind of like if you're journaling, but we're verbally doing it with each other. Journaling is very important. I truly believe in that. But we like to walk and talk. Not only are we hitting them calories and them steps, but we're also just processing things, because mental health is important. With or without trading, mental health is important. In order for you to make sure that you're mentally okay, you got to be able to verbalize. You got to be able to talk and just articulate how you feel and what that trade, did to you. So we love doing that. Yeah, it's going to hurt when you lose your trade, absolutely, but you need to process it differently. Mentally can mess you up, and it can take you in the wrong direction if you're not careful.
Especially if you have losing streaks. But this is where you have to create a plan. That's why we don't trade. Like today, I traded twice. I saw another trade, but I'm done for the day. No more. Now, I can take up to 3 trades for the day, but if I'm good on 2 trades, why go take a third trade and risk losing on that
Correct.
trade?
For those of you that are new to our Married to the Markets podcast, we do have certain rules that we follow. And one of the rules is we're not taking more than 3 trades a day. And if we hit 2 great trades, then we're good. Because again, it's all about how much you're trading with, what you're happy with, your profits. So for us, we're not going to take 3 unless it's absolutely necessary, but we're not going on beyond that, and we hold each other accountable. As he's reviewing and we're going over, we're like, no, there's many times he wants to, like, our Google alert. Y'all know about our Google alert, right? And when that Google alert goes off, usually we go, we running. But there was a time where it went off and he's like, oh babe, I said no. We're not doing it. We had a profitable trade. We had a good day. Regardless if we know our Google is strong, we're not going to do it because we have rules set up for ourselves.
Yeah, because it just takes that one time. Going into trading, I had this one person that told me it just takes one trade, go crazy. It takes one time to mess up and be like, and I've been through those before where I was doing good for the day. And then all of a sudden I take this one trade and that trade messes up the whole process, the whole work that I've done. For me, I've learned, all right, I'm content. I did my trades for the day. I'm not over trading, because back in the day, I used to sit around a computer all day and just trade.
You don't have to do
that. A waste of time.
It is.
It's a waste of time. So for me now, it's like if I'm in a losing trade or anything like that, if I lose, then of course I have to review it. But I don't beat myself up, because when I go in a trade, I'll automatically know where I'm getting out.
Yeah.
I automatically know. That's one thing I said. If I'm going in any trades, and I call them out on the lives as well, and I say, listen, if I go in this trade, this is where my stop loss is. And I make sure that I do that. So I just look over everything and I review it.
Yeah, we don't just look at the losses.
So I look at setups. I look at, all right, did I execute the
emotions
trades
that we're feeling?
Right? How was I feeling when I take the trade? Did I take a trade before and I lost on it? And because this didn't break yet, this didn't do what it's supposed to do, and I just jump in it off of emotions because I just lost on the previous trade. I have to do those things, and then of course risk. Did I risk too much of my account? Did I say, all right, I want to make back my losses, so let me go ahead and put more in? Those are the things that I look at. Where did I go wrong in the process as far as trading? And if I find it that I did nothing wrong, then hey, great job with it. Great job with the loss. Hey, you lost, but
you mitigated those losses.
You mitigate the losses. You had a stop loss.
People don't understand. You don't understand,
like, yo, you had a stop loss. Say what? I know I have friends that don't they trade without stop losses.
Mm-hmm.
They just let the trade run. But I can't do that because I've done that in the past. It
Mm-hmm.
don't work out good.
Yeah. Everybody's different, right? And you also, this is bringing back to, it's not only a trade, a losing day, it could be you could have been profitable all week and come
Hmm.
a Friday and take the wrong trade or over leverage and then lose all your profits that you had for the week. That is more detrimental to me than, okay, I had a bad day.
Hmm.
Versus you go heavy because it's a Friday. You trying to, yeah, we going out this weekend. You go heavy and then you lose everything. That hurts. That hurts
Especially in a
worse.
zero DTE
Listen,
contract.
so for me
Whew.
personally, this is how I would trade. I trade throughout the week, Monday through Friday. We going strong. Everything's good. On a Friday, did I say Friday? Monday through
Yeah.
Thursday. I'm
Monday through
sorry.
Thursday.
We going strong. And then on a Friday, I'm going to go a little lighter. Why? Because I have taken the time over the years to realize what is my best days and what is my worst days. That is where journaling and things come from. So I'm able to see that Fridays are not always my best days because I'm getting ready for the weekend. Mentally, I'm getting ready for the weekend. So I have learned to no longer, I'm still going to trade. There was a time I never used to trade on a Friday. That was
Yeah.
my rule back
Yeah.
in the
She
day.
never, yeah.
I never traded on a Friday because I had realized what my day was that I didn't do my best and it was on a Friday. So I had stopped for a long time. And then now I just say, you know what? I'm just going to go lighter and on our Friday, but I'm still going to trade with everyone, but I'm just going to go lighter. So I know that if something happens to go wrong, I'm still green for the week. And that's what it's all about. It's just, figuring out your jam.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. I think that's good for this week or
Yeah.
for this podcast.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that's enough. I think we gave them enough.
So if you're on a losing streak right now, do not stress about it. Okay, guys? It's not going to be fixed overnight. You got to take it one step at a time.
Hmm.
Trading is not something that you just learn in one day. It takes time. It takes you winning, you losing, you handling your emotions. It's just like you have to realize that you got to be professional when it comes to your recovery stage and just understanding, okay, this is what your plan is. What our plan is, what works for us might be different for you, but you better believe if you're getting started in trading, you need to have a plan in action.
Yep.
You need to figure out, do I need to review my setup? Is my setup not working? Is your execution wrong? Like, what are you doing wrong? Are your emotions, because if you're emotionally a mess, somebody passed away, you had a breakup, you just lost your job, personally, you
Don't
should not
trade.
be trading,
Don't trade.
right?
That's another topic, right?
You need to reset mentally. You need to
Yeah.
reset emotionally. You need to reset, your strategy, because maybe your strategy used to work for you, but it's no longer the same. Switch it up. Take the time to step away. It's okay. There was a time, I'm so sorry to bring this up, but I do want to bring this little piece up because I think it's very important for me to be transparent on here. So, yes, there's times where we just go for our walks, but there was a period where I stopped trading, right? I took a break. And it wasn't a short little break. It wasn't a day or a week. I took some time because I needed to heal emotionally, mentally. And since I've come back from that break, I've been even better, right? So you have to learn what works best for you. Sometimes you do need to step away for a couple of weeks or a month. And you'll be okay. You're never gonna forget that knowledge
Hmm.
that's given to you. This is a skill that no one can ever take away from you. And that's what I love about trading, because you can do it anywhere, anytime, pass down to your kids. It's something that I feel everyone should learn how to do. And don't ever let society tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough you're too old or you're too young. Everyone can learn. If my 8-year-old and my 14-year-old can learn, you can learn just as well.
Yo, let's drop the mic on that. I feel like taking out the mic and just drop it.
Mic drop.
Right
But I
on the
just felt
floor.
it in my heart. I just had to
Right on
say
the
that.
floor. Hey, that's beautifully said, babe.
Yeah.
Love you for that. And people will appreciate that. People will definitely appreciate that.
So guys, make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, do all the things for the algorithms. Because if you guys want to see more of this, we're not asking for anything. All we're asking for you to do is maybe share it with a friend or somebody, like it, comment, But don't forget to subscribe. All right.